What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Triangle Baseball Podcast. Chris is here and live in the studio. Mike, cue the intro. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks to all of y'all who are joining for the first 3 episodes. I mean, we got past the first 3. Well, technically the trailer in the first 2 episodes, as it is cold outside. As we are filming this, I have just gone out of practice, and oh my gosh, it was so cold. Like, my ears are really like sweating hot right now, and yeah, and we also got Alvin here. Alvin did say what's good, so yeah. Anyways, let's get on to our biggest news here today, and I think before we get into the Ohtani and the NFL and stuff, let's talk about college football real quick, as Jaden Daniels from LSU gets the Heisman win after LSU gets more than 8 wins this season. I think he definitely deserved the Heisman, to be honest. I mean, he got 2,029 points voted to become number 1 for the Heisman. It was between him and Michael Penix Jr., which I do not agree with second, just because he had a good record. I mean, he did produce some good stats, but I mean, Jaden Daniels definitely deserved it here. He had a really, really good season. As here's some of his stats. So 50 touchdowns to 4 interceptions ratio, which is really good. Completed 72% of passes. And he had over 4,900 yards. This is all for pass and rushing as well. So I want to make an announcement. Congratulations to Jaden Daniels. We did figure out who was 5th, and that was Jordan Travis out of Florida State, which makes sense of why he didn't get it, because he was out for 2 games. But he was up there too. So I want to say congratulations to Jaden Daniels from LSU. All right, and now we got some MLB news here, as I think a lot of people saw it earlier this week. Shohei Ohtani from the Los Angeles Angels, Japan, wherever you want to say he's from, he is officially going to the Dodgers on a 10-year, $700 million contract. And to be honest, we're going to talk a little bit about him. I mean, he's not pitching, so that is probably the biggest thing about the Dodgers right now, but there's a lot of people that are really, really excited for this move. And then there's some people who are really, I want to say, negative about this move. And I think it could go either way, to be honest. I mean, some of the other things as well. They also acquired Joe Kelly. He was on the White Sox. He was traded to the Dodgers last year, as well as Lance Lynn. And I think it was a good move for the Dodgers to keep Joe Kelly. I mean, you're trying to go for the World Series right now, but also this is where the biggest thing comes, as their biggest need right now for the Dodgers is they need a pitcher. For starting pitcher, they need a reliever, they need a closer. Like, they need just pitching in general, especially in the playoffs. That is their biggest thing, is they lost to the D-backs and the Padres 2 years where they lost to a seed very low from the wild card from them. I mean, I get it, the Padres did go to the NLCS, and then the D-backs went to the World Series, obviously. But is it time for the Dodgers? I mean, we do not know, to be honest, but that is probably the biggest thing right now in news, as he is the highest paid American sports player. And I think that is a good thing, honestly. I mean, but another big thing as well, this might bring Yamamoto to pitch as well. So, as he will probably go to the Dodgers as well. More of a chance is what I should say. Some of the positives I want to say is Ohtani is like the best player right now, best two-way player. I mean, he probably can't pitch until another year. I mean, he can pitch. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we did see Aaron Rodgers might come back from a torn Achilles if he is like that, but okay. And that is probably one of the biggest positives, to be honest. But the biggest thing of negatives, like I mentioned, playoffs. He has no playoff experience. He is not a pitcher. But do I think it's a dumb move? No. Do I think it's kind of aggressive move? I think so. to be honest, by Dave Roberts. I mean, I'm not saying Ohtani's like really, really bad. I just think, it doesn't fit with the Dodgers of what their needs is right now. All right, some of the other biggest news, Juan Soto and Alex Verdugo goes to the Yankees. This was a big shocker to me, to be honest, but, at least from the Red Sox. Padres, I could see Juan Soto. They are under budget as we are speaking right now. And, my gosh, they also did take out a loan, so keep that in mind. But, gosh dang, Juan Soto. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of people that are saying he's going to be really good on the Yankees, but the last few seasons with the Padres has been terrible. I thought he was going to make his renaissance with the Nationals once his contract was done with the Padres, but this move right here, and Alex Verdugo does go to the Yankees. I don't understand that move at all for the Red Sox. Verdugo's such a good player, and for the Yankees, it doesn't make sense to me. To be honest with y'all. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. But, yeah, this is probably all for them to go win a World Series. And they'll start Verdugo, they'll start Juan Soto, they'll start Aaron Judge. Giancarlo is washed. Okay, we're just going to say it right now. Giancarlo Stanton is washed up right now from the Yankees, and they do need more. But the thing is, they already have Harrison Bader as well. So I did not understand this move. I could see one of them becoming a DH, but yeah, that is the biggest thing right now between those two. Another big move is Jarred Kelenic goes to the Atlanta Braves. Big shocker to me as well for the Mariners. You're very close to making the playoffs, and you're just going to give it to a team that, they already got Austin Riley's the thing. So that's why this move doesn't make sense. He can play other positions as well, Kelenic, so you can just move him around. But, yeah, this does not make sense for the Mariners at all. Were they trying to – I think this move was trying to save up money for Ohtani, but, I don't think they should have just went for they could have went for Blake Snell, to be honest. They could have went for so many other players that this move makes no sense for me for the Mariners, and I think it is a steal for the Braves. We got Kirby Yates going to the Rangers. I guess the Rangers, they won a World Series. They're going to try and go back-to-back. That is the only thing I could see with this move. Will Smith, the closer, not the one from the Dodgers, the catcher, the closing pitcher that was on the last 3 World Series teams goes to the Royals. And honestly, looking at this move, and there was another move that I have mentioned. This was as of Tuesday, December 12th. Big moves, honestly, from the Royals. They are making some really, really big moves, to be honest with you. They did get a lot of pitchers, so... They also got Garrett Hampson as well he was on, I think, the Yankees. No, he was on the Rockies. They also got, hold on, I got to pull it up. They got some really good players, so we'll see what happens here for the Royals. They could win a World Series. They got Bobby Witt, and they also got a lot of other players, so we will see what happens. I really like that move. This next move, Eduardo Rodriguez goes to the Rockies, the D-backs. Great move. That is a really solid move for them, to be honest with you. I really like that move. You get Zach Allen, Merrill Kelly, but you also get that third ace. That is like I mentioned, really good move. And the only problem with it is that he might not have a lot of playoff experience, but hey, the D-backs didn't have a lot of playoff experience. They won against 2 really solid teams last year. Or sorry, not 2. 3 really solid teams last year, so they're looking forward to the season. Tyler O'Neill goes to the Red Sox. No sense for the Cardinals at all, to be honest with you. I get Arenado and Goldschmidt's retiring, but This is where, like, the Red Sox, the trading Verdugo to the Yankees makes no sense to me, to be honest. But also, this move doesn't make sense either. Like, that is your future right there. And I think they made some dumb moves the last few years. You know, getting old guys instead of the actual newer guys. You know, like Harrison Bader should have stayed on the Cardinals years ago. And I get he's doing good on the Yankees, but he's not that superstar level that everyone was expecting for the Cardinals. So I think the Cardinals had made some really, really odd decisions about their moves. All this I know is just so they can go to the World Series, but they finished last in the NL Central last year. So let's see what they can do. Or, sorry. Yeah, it was last. Pirates were fourth. Heimer Candelario, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, is going to the Reds. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I do not know a lot about this player. I know he was good on the Guardians, so we'll see. I mean, that's a good move to the Reds because they got Ellie De La Cruz, and they can make a playoff push as well. Eric Feed goes to the White Sox. I don't have a lot to say because the White Sox are in a bad situation right now. Marco Gonzalez goes to the Pirates, and Wade Miley returns to Milwaukee. We'll see what he does. And that is the biggest news we have learned in baseball right now as of December 12th. And we might get some moves, too. We might get Blake Snell. Probably goes back to the Padres. We might get some, like, other moves as well. But that is the biggest thing is the Ohtani going to the Dodgers, which, like I mentioned, it's a mix, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of positives and a lot of negatives to this move. Mostly positives just because he's like the best player right now in the MLB, but you can make so many moves. The biggest thing I will say for the Angels is I think it's time to let go of Mike Trout, you know. I don't know if you should trade him to the Dodgers, I would say. I think you need to trade him to a team that's like World Series ready, like Orioles don't need definitely not the D-backs, definitely not the Rangers. Like, Phillies, maybe I could see. Nah, they actually have really good players. There's teams out there that need them. Maybe the Astros. No, well, him on the Astros wouldn't be. I mean, I could see it, but also can't see it. I just think Mike Trout's ready. I think we need to give him a ring, and I think he's done enough for the MLB. Or not for the MLB, excuse me, for the Angels. And that is it for the moves right now as of December 12th. So there's probably more moves. We'll talk about it in next week, which is our last episode of 2023. And for a little bit, as it is winter break, so we'll see. Unless I get some, like, this Christmas, you guys will tell if I do get this for Christmas, but like some podcast stuff and a laptop, which I'll be fine with. All right, and let's talk about before we get to the NFL, we got to talk Smash Bros. So the biggest question of this is, since 2024 is coming up soon, it's in a few days, and we are in December right now, so there's a lot of speculation that I wouldn't say a lot of speculation, but like about Smash Bros, but mostly about a new console coming out for Nintendo. Maybe it's the Nintendo Switch 2. Who knows what it could be, but something's coming up next, and I think there's going to be some good games, you know, like we might get a Mario Odyssey 2, we might get a Luigi's Mansion 4, we might get some Pokemon games, we might get some 3D, like a lot of good games could be coming out soon. And Smash Bros is another thing. I think, you know, a lot of people do want to mention Sakurai actually kind of retired. Like, he kind of retired, but like there is like so many news and stuff saying that he doesn't want to give up Smash Bros, or like he doesn't imagine it without him. So I think this next game could be the final game, but even then, like, I don't even know, to be honest, who would take care of it. Like, if he had a son, maybe, I don't know who would do it, to be honest, because Sakurai, I mean, he's been through so much, man. Like, if you simply look up Smash Bros. Melee with Sakurai and how he went to the hospital, man, just to build. It's a really solid game, and I think he will do it next. Now, When do I think this game is coming out? Whenever the next console for Nintendo is, it's probably going to come out then. They're going to figure out all the controls and stuff. But I think the way you go for this is do Ultimate Deluxe for sure. You need more characters. Just bring back every character, even the ones from DLC, like your Sora, your Byleth, your Joker, your Piranha Plant, whoever it is. And you get more DLC, and you actually add characters, because there's so many characters that deserve to be in this game. And we'll talk about it right now. Now, I think the character that should be in there next after is probably Waluigi. I think he is up there. Bro's a dog, first of all, but also it's because fan favorites, I mean, that's what really gets the profit for you. That's a win-win for Nintendo. I just don't understand how they haven't done it yet. Daisy will probably get off the Echo Fighter treatment because of all the push for her lately, so we might get 2 Mario spin-off characters, which a lot of people really like the spin-off games. Like, you can get Waluigi's like a tennis, golf, whatever you want to imagine. While you get for Daisy, Mario Party, you could do Slugger. She's really well known in baseball. You can get so many things. By the way, I think we need another Mario Super Sluggers. Just saying. If Nintendo wants to do that. But, yeah, I think that is another thing. I think the next character to come out is a representative from the Sonic series. That is so lackluster, to be honest. Like, we get Shadow, Dr. Eggman, Tails. I mean, whoever wants to join. So I think that's another person. And I think there's no Fire Emblem games, but I think there's going to be another Pokemon rep as well that will represent the trio that everyone wanted, which is a grass type, which we'll see what happens in this new generation. So I just want to point that out. Sorry about no Smash Bros. Content when I said there was. So that is probably the biggest thing. I think coming soon, these next few future videos is, I think I have a series planned for y'all, so don't worry. And that is it. Now Alvin time. All right, thank you. All right, next up, we got some NFL talk. We got some results, so let's get to it right away. Patriots versus Steelers, 21-18 Patriots. They get eliminated still, but what a big victory for the Patriots. Especially, that's a big game to win, especially against the Steelers. You know, Steelers are a really good defense, and they did let up a lot of points. 21 points against the Patriots. This is where 2 weeks in a row where I predicted the Steelers to win, and they lose to 2 really bad teams. So, I think, like I mentioned, one of the worst 7-win teams. As Patriots, they did really good. Bailey Zappi, I don't know if he is the answer because, to be honest, I don't think he's that good, but he has been winning games. So is he your answer for next year? I don't know. Is it time to get rid of Mac Jones? Probably not. I think give him another year. Give him until his contract runs out, which I don't know if it's this year or next year. I'm going to be honest. But what a big victory for the Patriots especially. I think you give Bailey Zappi a top-tier wide receiver, and I think you're all good because your defense is there. You got Matthew Judon as part of your defense. You might need other people, but I think this Patriots team is pretty solid next year. I mean, they might get an early pick in the draft, so I think they should take a defensive player, and I don't even know who would it be, but what a great game by the Patriots. Steelers, this is now looking good. Y'all are going on a downhill right now, so y'all better figure it out. And that was Thursday's game. We were recording it as that was happening, so see what happens. Panthers Saints, this was obvious. Saints was going to win this 28-6. Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, so it makes sense. And then the Saints just they played really good against the Lions. So I mean, this was coming through, to be honest with you. And I think the Saints are really good now. They're in a battle with the 3-way tie between the Falcons and the Bucs as well. All right, Lions versus Bears. Bears won this game 28-13, putting them alive still in the playoffs. All right, anyways, let me repeat that. Lions versus Bears. Bears with the big victory, 28-13, to keep them in the playoffs. What a what an upset. I mean, the Lions have looked so bad against NFC North teams. So, I mean, this might be the biggest thing about the NFC North right now is that they are, I don't want to say they look really bad, but if your top team is losing to one of the worst teams with pretty mediocre quarterback, then you are in trouble. And from that game, I do want to mention, Amon-Ra did so bad. But I don't think it was his fault. I think it was the offense that really put him down. I mean, they did run the ball a lot, but sometimes you need to pass the ball, and that is the biggest thing from the Lions. Good win from the Bears as their defense clamped, and they're still fighting. They're still fighting in for the playoffs. Jets, Texans, 30-6. Just now you bring up the question: does C.J. Stroud play good without his best receivers? You know. That brings up a big question because Tank Dell was hurt. Noah Brown, they barely even had anybody on that receiving. So the Jets, of course, is going to win this game. Now, do I think the Jets have a chance? No, I don't think so. I mean, good win by them, and I do think that Zach Wilson's still really mediocre, to be honest with you. I don't think he's good, but, I mean, Texans had so many injuries this game, to the point where it was just a bad loss for them all around. But the Jets just played good. I mean, they didn't let up anywhere, to be honest. So they had a really good defensive game. Bengals Colts 34-14. This is the closest division I think I've ever seen. The AFC North, probably one of the closest. And the Bengals come up on top and beat the Colts, even though the Colts could have taken first if they won that game. But good win by the Bengals. I mean, they've been playing good without Joe Burrow. That's the biggest thing to me is that, do they really need Joe Burrow? Yeah, they do. But, I mean, it's good that he's getting recovered and stuff. But, dang, Jake Browning's looking really solid out there. But it's not just him. It's basically that you have good receivers around him, good targets, and you also have a really good defense around him. So, that was the biggest thing. Browns beat the Jaguars 31-27. I saw this game and I was like, man, this Browns team, their offense, I mean, their defense is so good that makes their offense look so good. And I was like, T-Law played really good too, but he didn't have Christian Kirk. Their defense, the Jags, was so bad against a really bad Browns offense that makes them look good because of the defense. So, good win by the Browns, 31-27. That keeps them alive in the AFC North race. Ravens beat the Rams 37-31. I saw the overtime kickoff return for a touchdown to win the game. What a great play. I mean, I think both teams played really good. So I don't think there's really anything for the Rams to be mad about is the thing. So they're still in the playoff hunt, especially with the Packers, but we'll talk about them later. Bucks beat the Falcons 29-25. It's a three-way tie for the NFC South, one of the worst divisions. And to be honest, I kind of saw this coming. I also saw the Falcons winning, but I mean, it was neck and neck, to be honest. Both teams are really bad this year, so. But hey, let Baker Mayfield cook. I mean, he's been pretty solid. I didn't really watch a lot of this game, but I mean, Buccaneers. What a great win. Vikings Raiders 3-0. Alvin's laughing back there out of that score. 3-0 in a football game. Yeah, and Jay Jettis came back, and then he broke a record and came back to the injured list. Wow. The Raiders are just so dog water, especially since Devontae Adams wanted to trade. So, bad game right there. Good win by the kicker from the Vikings. 49er. No, oh wait. And then another thing I want to mention. Terrible game. Good thing I didn't watch it because that was probably so boring for the fans. I feel so bad for y'all. 49ers Seahawks. Niners get the win 28-16. Seahawks fans, I mean, there's really nothing you can do about that. Niners are just such a good team. They're better than you probably in every category. Maybe Jamal Adams might be. No, there's no way. Tuifonga is just so good at safety. So, yeah, they just have a better team, to be honest, and there's nothing you can really do about it for the Seahawks fans. Bills beat the Chiefs 20-17. I saw the Patrick Mahomes thing, and I think it kind of questions that if he is, like, does he really need, like, refs to win a game? Because if he does, and that's not a good quarterback to me for all y'all. Like, I think, like, you shouldn't rely on the refs to win you a football game. Get it? Like, he has 2 Super Bowls. He's doing so good right now and everything. But come on, man. Like, you should have just shaked hands. You should have said good game or something. That's just such childish mood right there from Patrick Mahomes. But I do want to mention, Bills had a really good game. I really like the Bills in this game. I think they are looking to top the AFC East. I just think they needed that, like, little bit of a push to get up to that momentum right now. Broncos-Chargers, 24-7 Broncos. Chargers, I mean, just fire your coach now, please. Like, it's not looking good. Herbert's out, so I think this is the perfect time to do it. You know, you tank some games, and Broncos, they're just on a hot streak as well, so they are really, really solid for you. Yeah, and I really like the Broncos right now. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that too. 49ers, I do want to mention, clinched that game before we get into our Sunday night and Monday night. Clinches the game for the 49ers to go to the playoffs, become the number 1 team. Great game. Great game by the Niners, and everything just goes well. So, good job from the San Francisco 49ers. All right, Wesley got some words for y'all. You guys probably know Wesley from the Pulse, but...
What's up? Is this where the podcast is going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is hype. Dude, we got to go do basketball right now.
I know.
Okay, well, just for the record...
Oh, yeah.
Giannis is better than Curry. KD is underperforming for the Suns. What else? Oh, Georgia should not have been knocked out by Bama. That was absolutely awful. And I'm so sad for the fans of the Georgia Bulldogs. I feel for you as an Arizona Coyotes fan.
I feel bad for the Florida State fans.
go Coyotes. Dodgers suck. Bye.
Jeez. What Wesley doesn't know is that I don't really like that Shohei Ohtani move. All right, continuing on. Let's go to Sunday night real quick. Cowboys beat the Eagles to claim themselves as NFC East Kings. Now, I think it's between those two for the division and probably to make the playoffs. But, man, just a terrible game for the Eagles. But also, Dak Prescott, let's not call him a fraud anymore. I think he has proved himself this season that he ain't a fraud or just really bad. I think he has proved himself to have an MVP season, as he is definitely the leader of the MVP race right now, especially after that win. Giants beat the Packers 24-22. That's how the Niners clinched the playoffs, to be honest. And my gosh, the Packers, I feel so bad for y'all. Like, the Giants, I thought this was an easy win for the Packers, especially with Jordan Love, but terrible game by the defense. And Giants just wanted it more, I guess. Titans-Dolphins 28-27. The Titans stay alive. Dolphins, this is such a laughable loss, to be honest with you. I'm not going to laugh, but what happened is what I want to know. Is that I don't even know what happened, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't expect this, to be honest with you. Now, for the NFL, I mean, we are so close to the playoffs, and I know this is the week of fantasy, so good luck to all y'all fantasy teams. But we got the playoff picture, so let's talk about it. In first, the AFC. The Ravens get the number 1 seed, and this makes sense. Like, this is the best team in the AFC for sure. Lamar Jackson's been playing great. They have had really good offense. Even without Mark Andrews, they have really good offense. But it's mainly their defense that's been there. Gosh dang, that defense should be number 1 right now. I really like that defense. Second is the Dolphins, because they decided to lose to the Titans. terrible loss, to be honest. But yeah, the only thing about that's fishy for me is that the offense hasn't beat a team over 500, and I can't believe that for myself. So we'll see what happens. By the way, I'm not no like Dolphins hater or like Ohtani hater or anything. I know I'm kind of aggressive with my takes, but sometimes you gotta be, Kansas City Chiefs third makes. Actually, I think they should be second right now, but they played a horrible game against the Broncos, so I guess this makes sense. Number 4 is the Jags. This Jaguars team, they are getting, I'm not saying they're getting lucky every week, but they're getting some breaks, to be honest with you. Like, they lose, the other team loses. However, though, if they win, the other teams win, so, but, hey, at least they're in first in the AFC South. Number 5 is the Browns. I mean, yeah, I think this makes sense, and I think they will stick at number 5 in the AFC. Number 6, the Steelers, and number 7 is the Colts, which you can also say Texans, Broncos, Bengals, Bills are all up for the playoffs. The Titans, Jets, Raiders, and Chargers still are all 5-8. Everyone else is just 7-6, so it's going to come down to the last few weeks, and to be honest, like, I don't see the Texans winning anymore. I could see the Broncos and the Bengals and the Bills. Steelers, and I don't know about the Steelers either, so especially after those 2 losses, so see what happens. And now let's get on to the NFC, clinching their playoff berth, and number 1 is the 49ers. The Cowboys are in second. They could clinch a playoff spot with them and the Eagles actually could clinch a playoff spot with a win this week. Lions are in third, and we'll see. I mean, the second place team is 7-6, but everyone's on the rise right now. So we'll see what happens with the NFC North. The 4th is the Buccaneers, which, yeah, I did not. Whoever wins from that division is going to lose to either the Eagles or the Cowboys. So Eagles are in 5th right now. Vikings are in 6th. Packers are in 7th with 5 other teams. Saints, Falcons, Seahawks, Rams, and Packers. But there's still the Giants, the Bears, the Commanders, and the Cardinals in the hunt. Cardinals are going to be out. Commanders are going to be out. Bears probably and the Giants probably. I think it's up to Seahawks, Rams, and Packers for that division. You can make a case for all three of those teams, so that's why. And that is it for the playoff picture. Now, I don't have one-up reviews this week, so we're going to skip that this week. Next week, I'll get you all good one-up reviews, don't worry. Alvin, how much minutes do I have left? Okay. All right, shout out. All right, before we get into our next segment, I just want to give out some shout outs. First of all, the Pulse crew, my teammates at baseball right now, those are the first ones. My family, my friends, obviously. And I'm going to give a shout out to some of the youths. By the way, you just heard Wesley. You will hear Wesley a little bit. I don't know when. I think next year is probably the best date because I want to have some special guests. You might hear Alvin. We'll see if he wants to do it. I think he does, but we might go on camera, so I don't know about it, to be honest with you. Anyways, you guys might see this song. You might see let's see, who else could you see? You might see one of my teammates, his name's Caleb as well. You might see some of my friends as well. So let me know if you guys want to have special guests. I'll probably add it to the next year, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, I want to give shout outs to some YouTubers. Bordeaux, MMG, C. Roth, shout out to him. He's the one with the Smash Bros. Idea. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank y'all to all three for you guys inspired me to do this. Also Jidel as well from Too Hype and all Too Hype as well. And now for our next segment, or final segment of the podcast, we're not going to do one-up reviews, mainly because I don't have anything to review right now. I mean, there is games that I can review. But I think I gotta review Smash Bros next week or NBA Jam. So I was thinking about doing like Star Fox or something, but I don't know, man. It's kind of hard for me to like review like games, to be honest with you. So let's get to our next segment, the prophecy, predicting sport games and stuff. So we're gonna start it off with college football. I didn't make this last week, as I think the team, I hope that, actually I do not like this matchup, Michigan versus Alabama. I think Bama's going to win it. I think Bama's the hottest team right now between the two. Even though Michigan's undefeated and they got Blake Corum, I just don't think they have anyone else besides him and the defense. Bama is going to win this game and come out on top, especially winning the SEC in a tough division. And Texas versus Washington, I think Michael Penix Jr. is really good, but I also think Texas, man, they're so good. I think Washington will get the win, and I think Washington will close it out against Bama. They will get the win as well, as they will win a national championship. Honestly, I'll just be honest. It's not that I just don't know a lot about it, and and to be honest, I don't really like all the matchups, to be honest. I don't really like any of the matchups. This is why I think we need to move to 12-team. But anyways, next up, we got NFL. I got the Chargers winning against the Raiders. Chargers are a better team than the Raiders. I think there's nothing else to say. And the Raiders do not have an offense. Now, however, though, I could see the Chargers losing this game mainly because Brandon Staley's just a terrible coach. Bengals versus Vikings. I really think the Bengals are going to win. Vikings, they've been horrible recently, while the Bengals had just been on a momentum boost. Well, Bengals have been on a momentum boost, and they are just heating up right now, and they're going to keep heating up for a while. Colts versus Steelers, and I think I got the Colts. Colts, they have Zach Moss, and he's been doing good. JT has always been good. The only problem is that the Steelers have a good defense, but they've lost to the Cardinals and the Patriots, and they've had no offense, to be honest. Mitch Trubisky's terrible, and Kenny Pickett has been pretty mediocre. So, yeah, I think the Colts will take the win here. Broncos versus Lions. Broncos are winning this game. Lions lost to the Bears last week, and they've lost to the Packers, which I get it's division rival, but I think the Broncos on a win streak has been really good, especially what the fight they put up against the Texans. I mean, they're technically not on a win streak, but they only lost one game right now, and I think they just need to get a little bit of destruction before they got that rise again, and I think the Broncos will have a breakout game this game. Falcons versus Panthers. I mean, Falcons is going to win that. I mean, I don't know if I have to explain it to y'all, and I will do it. The Carolina Panthers are the worst team in the league right now, and I think they're not good without their head coach as well. They haven't been good with their head coach, but Falcons, Bijan will just carry them, honestly. Browns versus Bears. I got the Browns. Bears, it's just not looking good for y'all, and they're versing a top 5 NFL defense right now in the Browns, and they will make Justin Fields feel sorry for himself. Bucks versus Packers. I got the Bucks. Honestly, it was tough because what gave the tiebreaker away was the Packers lost to the Giants, and they did not look really good on defense. So I think the Bucks will do pretty well with their solid players that they have, and I think fighting for that spot, they are looking really good right now. All right, Dolphins versus Jets. I think the Dolphins win against the Jets, mainly because Dolphins are good against teams under 500. Even though they came off a loss against the Titans, I just don't think the Jets have what it takes, as they do not have a quarterback for the Jets. Giants versus Saints. I got the... we'll skip that one for now. Texans win against the Titans. Titans are just not a good team, to be honest. With Texans, even though we don't know about C.J. Stroud, so I think the Texans could win this game, even though Titans just came off a win. But, I mean, I don't know, man. The Texans are looking still pretty good, so we'll see what they can do there. Chiefs beat the Patriots. They're playing a team that's so much better than them for the Patriots, so that's really the only thing I got. as Mahomes is going to have a lot of anger going into this game and wants to play good and to prove these refs, to the people that he doesn't need refs to win the game. We got the Niners and the Cardinals. Niners beat the Cardinals mainly because they're just better all around against the Cardinals. Rams versus Commanders. Rams win the game. Commanders are terrible and the Rams are good. Let me go back to that Giants-Saints one real quick. I got the the Giants, I think. I think Tommy DeVito being 3-1 is just enough. Even though he's not the best, I think he is looking good. And Saquon's probably going to have a really good game. Wow, we got Cowboys-Bills. I got the... Cowboys are winning this game, yeah. Cowboys are winning this game mainly because Dak Prescott is the MVP right now, and I think he's looking better than Bills. And the Bills, although they won against the Chiefs, they're versing a tougher defense, honestly. You got Darren Bland and Micah Parsons against you. Ravens versus Jaguars. Ravens are winning this game. They've just been really good right now, and Jaguars has been terrible against really good defenses with T-Law in there. And T-Law might be questionable, so I think the Ravens are winning this. Eagles beat the Seahawks. Eagles are better. Eagles couldn't beat the Cowboys, or not the Eagles. Seahawks, well, that is true, but Seahawks couldn't beat the Cowboys. They can't beat the Eagles as well. They're pretty much the same team. And it looks like that is it. So, yeah, I think, all right, that will do it for y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching the podcast today. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Triangle Baseball for more content. Join us next week as the NFL playoff race is close. And I have decided to hold off with football content till next year. And we'll hold off Smash Bros. As well because I got a series coming up with. Join us. Our next episode is the final episode of 2023. Not the final episode of the podcast, but we will talk about NFL and potentially MLB. But yeah, that is it. And thank you all so much for joining. Chris out.